Hello my friends, once again welcome to Ornia Arbor and this is third video. I'm very happy that you people gave best responses to last videos. Thank you very much. This time we will going to complete almost all terms related to floriculture and this is the last video for the terminologies. So we are going to discuss the trendy terms. Yes, trendy terms. Terms which are mostly utilized while studying the floriculture. So let's start. In trendy terms, the first term is umbel. As you can see the picture at right end, what it shows? It's simply type of inflorescence. It's a cluster of a flower in which stalks of nearly equal length from center and form a dome shape, somewhat like umbrella leaf. Keep in mind, umbrella means like umbel shape and umbrella words, it's a Latin word. Next is dormancy. It's like deep sleep in which plants or seeds are alive but not actively growing. An organism conserves the energy to live longer and it's a natural process. There is two types. One is productive dormancy and another one is consequential dormancy. In productive dormancy, it occurs when your plant enter a dormant phase before adverse condition. For example, most of the temperate ornamental plants goes through this dormancy. But in consequential dormancy, it occurs when adverse conditions have arisen and this is found where climate suddenly change that we never predict. Then girdling. You can see in the picture how do they do it, why it is important. Girdling is beneficial for induction of flowering and higher yield as compared to non-girdle plant. Girdling actually stops the movement of nutrient towards the roots. Their whatever carbohydrate produced in the leaves never goes beyond the girdle mark. And that's why that stored carbohydrate automatically used by the plants for growth and development of flowers and fruits. Grafting. It is a propagation method, simply in which join two plant parts. One is bottom portion of one plant, which is called rootstock, and another one is tender shoot cut from top portion of another plant. Some students have question in their mind why it is so important. First, by doing this we select best planting material. For example, if any rose cultivar of Maharashtra bears lots of flowers, best quality of the flowers, and we decided to bring that cultivar in Rajasthan region and we cultivate it. But it is giving poor results than Maharashtra. So what will we do? We will select best rootstock of rose which can easily grow or develop in Rajasthan region. And we bring the scion of Maharashtra's rose and fixed into Rajasthan rose rootstock. Simple. So rootstock works for resistance to certain soil-borne diseases come from Rajasthan sandy soil. And for these kinds of reason, we go for grafting. Next is layering. It is also the type of propagation. Most of the people have question in their mind how they do it. Actually, I placed one animated picture also, in which simply shoots are bent over to the ground in early spring. Then push the center of stem under the ground and hold in it with the U-shaped pin. After some days, roots will form at that center. Actually, selection is very important. Selection usually involves plants with a flexible stem. I again repeat, the flexible stem is important for the layering. So this is about the simple layering concept. There is different types of layering that we will study in special propagation methods lecture. Then ground cover. Here is a group of plants usually used to cover surface of the ground and create a uniform appearance. Yes, Actually, you can clear your concept by watching this picture. Here, first image about Vidalia flower. Second one is verbena. Yes, verbena. Then next is portulaca. So this is the example of the plants which is utilized for the ground cover. Upcoming terms are very important as flower morphology point of view. You can see here hermaphrodite, dioecious and monoecious. What are these? These are the basic sexuality of flowering plants. As you see here, flower that has androecium means stamen and gynoecium means pistil. I'm going to show you with the help of arrow. This is androecium and this one is gynoecium. So this is flower parts, like both sex male and female on one plant. It is called bisexual flower. It is perfect flower. Then next is dioecious, in which male organism and female organism found separately on a different plant. You can see in the picture. Then monoecious, either male organism will present or female organism will present. Means male and female flower found on same plant. So that is regarding all basic sexuality found in flower. Then perennial. You can read here plant which grows and lives more than 2 years. That plants become any plant, like herbaceous plant, it become trees, any plant. But the life of that plant should be more than 2 years. If it is only 1 year life, so you can see here this is the annual. And if there is only 2 years of life, so it is called biennial. Then rosette. You can read the definition: a cluster of leaves or flowers forming a compact circular arrangement. Most important thing here, arrangement should be circular. You can see the picture here, the leaves arrange in a circular motion. Then this one also. Next is that all succulent plants, there is also the arrangement is circular. Then most important, that is thatch. You can see, you can observe the picture, the red line, the area between red line, that is called thatch. Patch is different. Patch you can found on the surface of the lawn, and thatch you can found below the lawn, below the ground surface, means where you can found the root of that particular grass. There is a thatch. The next is sucker. It is actually originating from the rootstock of grafted plant rather than the desired part of the plant. You can see in the picture, I'm going to show you with the help of arrow. This is called actually the sucker. Then tendril. You can observe the picture. I also indicated that with the help of arrow, that twisting, that curling vine called as tendril. Then thinning. You can easily understand the thinning with the help of this picture. In picture number 1, you can observe the population of the plant is so high. But when we decline some plants or when we remove some plants, so the population will be minimized. So that process is called thinning. By the definition, you can easily understand, remove some plants to allow sufficient room for the remaining plants to grow. Now, the upcoming terminologies we are mostly used in all over agriculture. So first is top dressing. Top dressing simply we spread the fertilizer on a surface of the soil nearby the plants in even manner. So this is called top dressing. Then transplanting. Transplanting, the process of digging up a plant. Yes, when we move the seedlings from one location, means from polyhouse to open condition, so that is called the transplanting. It's a simple process. Then tuber. What is actually tuber? Example, we have the Dahlia, a flat underground stem which store a food and which gives us a plant that is called tuber. It's like a seed. Then turgid. What is actually turgid? In biology, we are using this word mostly when any plant cells will be swollen, so due to the water uptake, so it is called turgid, or we can say it's a turgidity. Then bedding. In horticulture, temporary planting of fast growing plants into flower beds to create colorful temporary seasonal displays during any season. So that plants mostly used for bedding, which are generally annuals, biennials, or any tender period. So it's a set of the plant into the garden bed or container which looks beautiful, which looks bloom. So we can say it is bedding plant. Then catkin. It's slim cylindrical flower cluster with no petals. They are found in many plant families including Fagaceae, Moraceae, Salicaceae. You can see in picture, this is a Calipha hispida and another one is Australia. So you can observe the flower, that is drooping nature flower. This is called catkin. The next is variegated. Variegated means the leaves or flowers which are marked with multiple colors. Here is the best example, that is Corium variegated. Most of the people called Crata. Then phyllodes. When petiole modified into leaves, it means it will work for photosynthesis. You can see this picture. This is called phyllodes. Here, leaves attached to a single leaf, and this single leaf is here works as a petiole. Best example I have been placed. It is called Australian acacia. Next is cladode. When stem or branch modified into leaf-like structure and there is one or two internodes. Again repeat, there should be only one or two internodes. So then we can say it is cladode. For example, ruscus. I have placed the picture also, and then asparagus. That is the best example for the cladode. Then phylloclade. It is completely opposite of cladode. When stem or branch modified into leaf-like structure, but there is so many internodes. I have placed the picture also. Here we can say this is stem or branch, and these small like structure are leaves, and that leaves modified into spine like structure. Example, opuntia. You can observe in the picture. And keep in mind, these all are plant modification. There is lots of modification, but scientists only observe these modification, and they have been elaborated. They have been give the name on that specific things. So for these terminologies, there is lots of videos available, but don't confuse. So these are all the trendy terms which are very useful as per your exam point of view, as well as to clear your concept also. So permit me to leave. This is Ashish, and please subscribe my channel and bell icon also, yes, to get the new notification. Thank you very much.